Alright guys, it's Trevingsley here with another top 10 list. I'm real excited to do this list in particular. This is going to be my top 10 favorite free-to-play LRs. There's not many more than 10. There's probably like maybe 20 something in the game right now. But these are just my top 10 favorites, and you can see number 10 right here, LR, Tien, and Chaozu. Now they just barely make the list, like really just barely. If I had the boy LR Yamcha awakened already, he would probably take this spot. But I really like with them, they're really good linking partners with LR Gohan and Goten, sharing shocking speed, shattering the limit, legendary power, Z fighters. They link up really, really well, which is kind of impressive. And they do okay damage. As you can see, I have 3 dupes in them. And I gave them the standard 11, 12, and 3. They do okay. Granted, they're not at SA20, but they can hit over 1 million on an AGL team. They're only on World Tournament and Join Forces. Once LR Kale and Caulifla come out, I'll really take a deep dive into seeing how hard I can make them hit. But on World Tournament, they're a top tier unit. Obviously, there aren't too many on there, but between him and LR Hercule and LR Goten and Trunks, they could, if there was a real category team that was a World Tournament, they could probably hold it down. But yeah, LR, Tien, and Chaozu, just a solid unit. You know, just nice and solid. Nice solid way to start off the list as well. Number 9, of course, is the boy LR Frieza. LR STR Prime Battle Frieza. Now, I kind of expected him to be a little bit higher, or a little bit lower down, I guess, on the list, like number, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. But I really just don't use him that much, and his biggest thing keeping him back is the fact that he has Transforming Frieza. The one that starts out in first form that's tech. I always use that Frieza over this guy, unless it's like a need of rarity. Like if we're doing an event where the fact that he's an LR will give us bigger drops for items. But he's still really good. I mean, I've seen this man hit over 2 million in a video before, and like for me, he can do pretty alright. On the Dragon Ball Seekers team, he can hit over 1 million, and that's only a 77% team right now on global. Once the LR Goku Plan and Trunks come out, I could really see him doing a decent amount of damage. He's definitely impressive. He's a good LR. He's just not one of my personal favorites. But he does link up really well with villains, which is nice. And he gets the job done on Extreme STR and Secrets of the Dragon Balls from what I've seen. But yeah, that's STR Frieza. He's no slouch, but he's number 9 on my list. Coming in at number 8, we have the boy himself. I just mentioned him, LR Hercule. Now, I think LR Hercule gets a lot of hate. He doesn't hit as hard as Frieza, but he is more useful, I think, than Frieza, only because there's only one better Hercule than him in the game, and they're pretty different. That Hercule is just like a straight up tank, and this one you can make hit a little, not like crazy hard, but a little hard, you know. On a Majin Buu Saga team, I've gotten him to do over 1 million. That video, I guess I can put it in the description. But yeah, LR Hercule, he was on my underrated list, and now here he is again on the LR list of my favorite free-to-play LRs. I gave him 9 additional, 14 crit, 3 dodge. Once he gets that 20,000 attack and 7 ki, he can put in some work, for sure. He's not amazing, but he is on a couple categories, World Tournament and Buu Saga. I think the World Tournament will get a real category at some point, and then at that point, Hercule might be looking up. He might be doing alright over there. But yeah, LR Hercule, he's nothing super impressive, but he's my 8th favorite LR that's free to play. Coming in at number 7 is Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. Now those other LRs I just talked about, I do really like them, but they don't do what these other LRs do, man. The rest of the LRs on this list I feel like are really, really strong units. Whether they're support like LR Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, or just in general, like their overall kit is just like really solid. Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, they are amazing. They give Superclass allies 4 ki and 50% defense, and lower Extreme Class enemies' defense by 70%, which I haven't really noticed once I go into many events, but I'm sure if I tested it out for real and like compared it, I would probably be able to tell a difference. I gave them 11 additional, 3 crit, and 12 dodge. I gave them additional because they seal on super. So I want to be able to get that seal off if I need it. And I gave them the 12 dodge because they're a support unit. But even though they don't hit super hard, I have seen them hit over 1 million. Not mine in particular because they're only SA10. But in showcase videos of them, I've seen them hit over 1 million before. They can do it. But in my opinion, it's better when they just get their 12 keys so they can seal and, you know, and they can just give allies 4 key and 50% defense. It's a really solid thing to give, especially in like the Majin Buu Saga Super Battle Road. They're extremely clutch in that stage. You can see in the LR Gohan and Goten video I did on that stage that they just, without them, it would have been infinitely harder. So in difficult events, they're really nice, and especially for the Majin Buu Saga, they're a great key battery that'll keep that team moving a little bit better, especially if you're running all heroes. Also on the Movie Heroes team, they're phenomenal. So definitely, if you don't have them already, rainbow them, get them to SA20 like I need to. They're amazing. Then they're number 7 on my list. Now we'll go into number 6, who is LR Prime Battle Vegeta. Now, LR Prime Battle Vegeta is mainly here because of his art. I think his art is one of the best in the game. That's another list I'll probably do in the future. You better believe he'll be on that list. But I really like his art. I like that he's a free-to-play Pure Saiyan lead. I think that's really cool that they did that so that people can run the Pure Saiyan team, because it's the most free-to-play friendly team in the game. It's the largest category. A lot of the strongest cards in the game are on that category, so it's just really nice that they put out a free-to-play Pure Saiyan lead. And I also like that he turns into Evolution Blue Vegeta pretty much after he gets hit. After he receives an attack, he gets an additional 1500 attack and launches 2 additional attacks for 4 turns. So that's really, really helpful. His biggest damning thing, there are 2 things really, are his links, because he doesn't have key links really. All he really has is Royal Lineage and Shattering the Limit. I guess Golden Warrior is a 1 key link, isn't it? Yeah. So he has a few key links, but they're not super common other than Shattering the Limit. And really the thing that puts him down the most is the fact that we have the Transforming Vegeta. I think that they can fulfill different roles. Like, this one's Extreme Int, which is good because the other one's a super type. So you can run this Vegeta on villain teams, which kind of gives him a purpose outside of, you know, the other Super Saiyan Vegeta that's really good. But at the same time, he really got upgraded, especially on Global, pretty much as soon as he came out. But I do like this Evolution Blue. I do like this Super Saiyan Vegeta. I've used him in Super Battle Road. He does a really good job, even despite the lack of key links with the Extreme Int team. And I think if you don't have him, you should get him, especially if you don't have a Pure Saiyan's lead. Having a Pure Saiyan's lead is real clutch. But there's someone else who's above him that is also a Prime Battle LR that I'm sure you guys can guess, coming in at number 5. Of course, I'm talking about Super Saiyan Trunks Future. He's Super AGL, he's a Prime Battle LR. He's a Future Saga category lead, which is interesting. Free-to-play Future Saga category lead. The Future Saga isn't amazing, at least not yet. It will be soon. But, you know, having the Future Saga as an option to run is pretty cool. I don't personally have Future Gohan right now, so he's the only thing I can do to run that team. I gave him 11 additional, 12 crit, 3 dodge. He, of course, is 100%. His passive is attack 2500 or 25,000 at the start of turn, and then he gets 8 key and attack and defense 20,000 when facing 2 or more enemies. So this man is a Super Battle Road killer. He's great in the Hybrid Saiyan stage. He's great in the Super AGL stage. When a future stage comes out, he's going to be great. Time Travelers, Vegeta's family. I mean, he should be on the team. He's very, very good when you're facing 2 or more enemies. He's also one of those cards, though, that doesn't have the best links. He has Royal Lineage and he has Shattering the Limit, which are both okay. I mean, Royal Lineage isn't great, but at least he can link up with like that Super Saiyan Vegeta we just looked at. But Cold Judgment, Messenger from the Future is a terrible link. Dismal Future, I mean, you gotta have one of these guys on the squad with him to really get that link, and it's only 1 key, so that's not amazing either. But this Trunks really does put in work, and that extra 7 key he gets from his passive when facing 2 or more enemies is amazing. If you're having any trouble with the Super stage of Super Battle Road, Super AGL stage, or the Hybrid Saiyan stage, definitely farm this guy up. He's super worth it, and he's definitely one of the more useful LRs free to play that I have. And that's why he lands at number 5 on the list. But let's go ahead and get into number 4. This is where the next level of LR start coming through. At number 4, we got LR Metal Cooler. Now, LR Metal Cooler probably would be higher than this if I had more dupes than him. Now, there are more dupes available in the Baba Shop, but I just haven't been able to acquire them as of yet because I need Kais and orbs all the time, and I'm trying to save a little bit for LR Majube that's about to come out. So I'm trying to be careful, but also I wish I could Rainbow Metal Cooler right now because he is disgusting. He's an extreme class lead of HP, attack, and defense 70%, which is solid. It's a good number, even still. It won't be able to beat like the Extreme Super Battle Road stage probably, but it's a good number. I gave him 6 additional, 6 crit, 5 dodge, and his passive skill is crazy. He gets attack and defense up to 90%. The more HP, the greater the stat boost. And he's a high chance to launch 2 additional attacks, each of which can become a super attack. So it's not like Int Vegeta we just looked at, where his attacks are going to be normals, just straight up. He actually has a chance to have extra super attacks be launched off, and I mean, it's great, honestly. That's really what keeps him in the top tier of LRs. I would really love to do a comparison video of him and another card on this list that you guys probably know is going to be really high, to see who can do more damage. He's not either. Both of them aren't the highest damaging free-to-play LR. We'll get to them in a second, but I mean, LR Metal Cooler, very phenomenal unit. He's on good categories: Resurrected Warriors, Movie Bosses, Wicked Bloodline, and Joined Forces. All solid, and he's a must-have on those teams, I would say, especially like Wicked Bloodline. He's a great card on that. And Movie Bosses, I use him all the time, and he holds up great. So, yeah, LR Metal Cooler, one of the hardest-hitting free-to-play LRs, and he deserves his number 4 spot here on the list. Now let's go ahead and look at number 3. It may be surprising that I have them there, but here they are at number 3, the highest damaging free-to-play LR, LR Goku and Arale. Now the reason I have them at number 3 mainly is because of the categories they're on, and the fact that they're not in a Super Battle Road stage yet, other than the Super Class. Once they get like a Movie Hero stage or a Youth stage, Dragon Ball Saga, Dragon Ball Seekers, you know, a new stage in Super Battle Road that they can be used on, their place will definitely change on this list as far as how useful they are. But in my mind, like, at the hardest events, I want, like, you know, people who can really rock those events, and they can only really rock to Super AGL, which I don't know if I've shown on video them doing. I don't think they were on my team when I released it yesterday, but they're pretty solid there. I've used them before there. And the Super Class, where they actually do a really good job. But regardless, they're just not, you know, they're not on a real Super Battle Road stage yet. But once that changes, they'll definitely be moving up. They're a Dragon Ball Seekers category free-to-play leader, 77% to stats, which is really good. So their passive is a paragraph also. They randomly change key spheres to rainbow key spheres. They get attack 30% and key 2 per rainbow sphere obtained. And if they're the first attacker in the turn, they reduce damage by 30%. But they have to attack first. If they don't attack before the enemy starts hitting them, that won't activate. So that's kind of frustrating. I gave them 11 additional, 12 crit, 3 dodge, the usual with me. And they do really well. They're really high damaging. Creating rainbow key spheres, even if it's not for them, is super helpful for the teams they're on, you know, to kind of link them up a little better. And the fact that they're 59 cost too is really helpful for like a new player, because I remember when I started and when some of my friends started, team cost was a huge problem. But you can have these guys on your team and they're an LR, and they'll be hitting harder than a lot of your TURs that you'll be running that are about the same cost. But yeah, LR Goku and Arale, they're amazing. They're number 3, not to take it away from them, but That's just where they stand on the list. Now, number 2, you guys are going to pretty much all see coming. And that, of course, is Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegito. LR Vegito Blue is phenomenal whenever you can use him. He's a super class category lead, or super class lead like Cooler was an extreme class lead. He gives 70% to stats. He is amazing. He's one of the easiest units to rainbow in the game, along with Goku and Arale. And he's just awesome. He gets attack and defense 80% and raises ki up to 10, less HP remaining, greater the ki boost. That's really helpful in difficult events he's in. He has 12 additional, 11 crit, 3 dodge. I gave him a little more additional than crit because on his 12 key super he builds up his attack and defense, whereas his 18 key super he just greatly raises his attack. So raising his attack and defense, that stacks every turn, which is really useful, so I gave him more additional instead. He has great links: Super Saiyan, Warrior Gods, Prepared for Battle, Fused Fighter, Shattering the Limit, Legendary Power. Power bestowed by God is alright. It's not amazing, but I would say Warrior Gods is better than that. And he's on like really top tier categories: Batara, Realm of Gods, Time Travelers, and I'm telling y'all, in a couple months, the Future Saga will also be a top tier category. In the Realm of Gods and Batara stages, this LR Vegito Blue is, I think, a lot more useful than the physical or the tech Vegito Blues that you could run in those events, which is why I feel like he should be so high on the list, because he's on Super STR, Super Class, Batara, and Realm of Gods. And as someone who knows, like, I just beat Realm of Gods for the first time, as someone who's ran it recently, I can tell you that LR Vegito Blue really, he really holds his worth up there. He does so well. He's one of the reasons I was able to beat it between him and a couple other characters that I might do a video on. But no, LR Vegito Blue, I don't think he's overrated in the slightest. I think he's very, very good. One of the best free-to-play LRs in the game. Not the highest damaging, and probably not the best, but he's my second favorite, and that's all that matters. And number 1 is one that you guys probably also will see coming, and that is LR Spirit Bomb Goku. I'm a fanboy for Spirit Bomb Goku. I know that he probably doesn't deserve to be this high on this list because he's not as impressive as, especially the last 3 that we just talked about. I don't think he's quite to their level, but damn is he good. On the categories I've used him on, Majin Buu Saga, Pure Saiyans, Goku's Family, all really big categories, he does phenomenally. His links are solid. Z Fighters all in the family, which is not great. Experienced Fighters, Prepared for Battle, Saiyan Lineage, also not great. Supreme Power, which is and Legendary Power. So about half his links are good, half of them are bad. Really what saves him, for me, is the 777 HP per Key Sphere obtained, and the 7% attack and defense he gets per orb obtained. That ability he has is really, really useful in Super Battle Road, in Dokkan Battlefield. I bet even in the Legendary Goku event it would be useful. I would actually have to try that out. Once it comes around on Global, I'll definitely try him in there, see how he does on the Goku's Family team. But he does really well. He does take a little bit of damage, but besides that, he is so useful for every team he's on. He's definitely a trophy unit, which is another reason I think he's this high on my list. Because these are my favorite. These aren't who I think are the best necessarily, other than the tiers where they're at on the list. You know, 10 through 8 or 7 is about the third tier of LRs, and then the middle tier would be 6 to 4 or 7 to 4. Yeah, 7 to 4, 8 to 10, and then 4 to here are all in their respective tiers, I feel like. But yeah, LR Spirit Bomb Goku, I hope you guys get him eventually, because he's worth it, even still. And yeah, that's my list. I hope you enjoyed. I'll do a list on my favorite summonable LRs once I get 10. Actually, I might have 10. I either have 9 or 10 of them. So, you expect that list whenever that happens. And I do want to do the SR list still. I just gotta kind of look through the SRs and see where I would put, basically from 6 to 10, I need to figure out who those are going to be. my like top 5 are locked down to the point where I might just do a top 5 SR video. There are surprisingly a lot of good SRs here in Dokkan, so I'm excited to do that one. But yeah, that's the video. I'm Trevingsley. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.